Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your weekly forecast for October 28th through November 3rd. We're going to connect here and see what's coming up for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to check out this little Halloween deck here for the weekly messages, and we're going to pull a spirit message for you from this deck here. So let's jump right on in and see what is going on for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Guys, we're coming out of some pretty big energies in the past the moon cycles. We're headed into a Mercury retrograde, and then we're headed into an intense moon cycle again with the full moon in Taurus. And we're going to see how this might be impacting you, what may be coming up for you, and what you need to know for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising, October 28th through November 3rd. Here is your Monday, Tuesday, Libra, your Wednesday, Thursday, and your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, my darlings. So first off, we're starting off with Knight of Ghosts. So this is going to be what we know in traditional tarot as Knight of Cups. Okay? Knight of Cups in traditional tarot. So Knight of Cups is a card that comes in that's letting us know that you are coming into an energy of romance. You are coming into an energy of pursuing the things that make your heart sing, that make you happy. Some of you might find that you're being pursued by someone who's like in a very, they're in the mood for romance, right? There could be sometimes people call Knight of Cups the Don Juan, you know, or like the romancer. But this is someone who's coming in this way where like they're putting you up on a pedestal, right? And some of you are just in the mood where you want to embrace that energy. Maybe you want to eat it up, you know, but you don't want to go anywhere with it, and you don't want to like be physical with the person, but you're enjoying the compliments, you're enjoying the conversation, and maybe you're just like, I just kind of want to leave it there. Like if this person isn't showing up as like King of Cups or, you know, Queen of Cups, then I don't need to get into that, right? Like some of you are just like, I'll take it for what it is and just kind of, you know, not jump in. But I feel for the majority of you, Libra, this Knight of Cups is more you, and I feel that it's less about pursuing someone and more about pursuing something that is bringing you happiness and making your heart sing. I keep hearing that, you know, making your heart sing, making your heart sing. I keep hearing that phrase. So I also feel some of you Libras are really, really like just starving to do something more creative. Like even if you're already in a creative field, like maybe you've already known that you're a creative person or you have creative talents and you already made a life or, you know, made your life's work in something creative, you might feel like it's become to be too much work and not enough creating. It's become something very automatic or mechanical or paint by numbers, and you're just like, I want to create again. I want to feel joy again. So some of you are beginning to do these things outside of your work setting. You're beginning to work on projects and things simply for the sake of fun, simply for the sake of feeling like you're connecting with your higher self as you're making art or making music or writing or whatever it may be that you're doing creatively, reciting poetry, spoken word, stand-up comedy. I mean, I don't know, whatever it is that you're doing, but you're doing it as a hobby. You're doing it to blow off steam, and there's just this part of you that feels like if you don't create, you're gonna go nuts, right? So it could even be for some of you, you feel like this is what you're doing really for your mental health, like just so that you feel grounded, so that you're releasing stress, so that you're not feeling boxed in, or you're not feeling unfulfilled or depressed. You're finding like it's very therapeutic. Okay, some of you are submitting something. You're submitting something, or you already submitted something and you're receiving positive word or positive feedback about it. So like maybe say there's like an artist that you really admire and you submitted something to them and you were wanting to collaborate with them, or you put in something to be published, or you put in something like trying to sell a song or something. It may be getting picked up and you may be receiving positive news around it in the beginning of the week. Those of you that you've been kind of like putting your creative projects or your creative work out there, I do feel that feeling in that sense for some of you as well. Okay. Next we have here, one more thing about this. I also feel some of you are being offered something in the beginning of the week where you are being asked to do something creative with children. Either it's a job offer, and maybe it's just something some of you are doing on the side for a little extra money. Maybe it's going to be something full-time that's paying more. But I feel some of you are being offered to do something creative with children, and Spirit is saying this is here as a part of your healing and as a part of boosting your creativity. Something about being around these kids is boosting your creativity and taking you back to like that unlimited thinking, right? Before we began to edit ourselves and judge ourselves, you're harnessing this power of creativity. Like you're just kind of like osmosis. You're taking in that youthful energy of, you don't think about, oh, you can't color a horse blue because there's no such thing as a blue horse. You don't think that way. You want a blue horse, you color a blue horse, right? So you're coming out of those things like, oh, this would be great, but I can't, right? You're just pure creativity. You're getting into that pure creativity, and it's making your work or your projects better, right? Because you're coming out of that judgment. You're coming out of that, oh, well, let's be logical. Like, creativity, imagination, it needs to be free. It cannot have limits. So you're learning to be limitless again. So when this offer comes in for many of you, it's not necessarily about the money, because like I said, for some of you it could be like a side gig. It might not be paying a whole lot, but the universe might not be bringing it to you for money. The universe is bringing it to you because you've been wanting to really harness your talents and be better at your craft, and this is the step that's going to help you to do that. For other ones of you, you might be being asked to babysit, or you might be asked to come in and do something with kids around the holidays with projects or art projects or decorating or things like that. Again, this is all about you connecting with joy and connecting with your creativity. Your Wednesday Thursday card, Libra, is Five of Wands. So there's gonna be some competing goals here. There could be some quarrels or disagreements. Um I don't think it's because of anything that you're doing. One of the things I can say is the new moon that we had in Scorpio over the weekend before this week, was a pretty intense new moon. I talked about it a little bit in the other videos. It created the possibility for conflict. It created the possibility for disagreements and things of that nature. But Libra, in your past readings, the past few weeks, the past few months, this has been a theme that has already followed some of you. And you're like, you know what? I've already been through that. I've already had that discussion. I've already had that argument. And now I'm ready to go off and be happy. So I don't feel that like the conflict is going to be for the majority outside of you. Some of you may have conflicts with a partner who doesn't like the decisions that you're making, or family that's sticking their nose in. But I feel for the majority of you, you already went through the conflict. You already had to stand up for yourself. You already had to make a decision. You're already moving in the direction of your dream. I feel the Five of Wands is coming up for you in the sense that now you're having to balance your focus, right? Especially as you're taking your dream, you're taking your talents, you're taking your creativity, and you're putting it towards making a career change, or you're already doing the work, right? And you're thinking about the bread and butter. You're thinking about being able to pay your bills. You're thinking about being able to have money come in. But on the other hand, the other side of you, you're like, but I want this creativity. I want this creativity. I want to create. And Spirit is saying, hey, look, these two things are going to come together ultimately. You are going to be able to see the day when you are being paid and you're making a living doing something you love doing in your way and in your fashion. But right now, what you need to do is, as you're working or looking for a job or doing whatever it is you need to do to pay bills or pay rent or mortgage or whatever, be sure that at the same time you are making time. You are not allowing other people to come in and rob you of your time that you could be spending in the time creating, right? Like, somebody might call you and they might need something, and it might be easy for you to make the argument with yourself that, you know what, I should go help them because I was just going to go home and work on that novel I was writing, or I was just going to go home and draw for that comic book I was working on, or I was just going to go home and play around on my violin, so, I guess I should go. I guess I should help. No, this time for creating is something that you need. You need it on a soul level. You need it. So there's going to be things that are competing for your attention. There's going to be things that are competing for your focus. And you need to be disciplined in having that time for you. Because I feel for a lot of you Libras, you're getting to this point where you're like, if I don't create, I'm going to go crazy, right? You have this artist soul, or you're beginning to discover that you have an artist soul. Many of you, this is really confusing you because you've been more on a spiritual path. You've been more on the path of trying to heighten your own intuition, your psychic gifts, your psychic abilities. I'm hearing Akashic records. Maybe some of you have been really trying to tune in or connect with the Akashic record energy. There's something a lot of people don't understand. Intuition and creativity go hand in hand. People who are intuitive are also very creative. You don't always get to see that, right? Because maybe there's spiritual teachers that you follow, or maybe there's other psychics that you like, that you're like, wow, this person really has a gift, but you might not get to see their creative side, right? Or even if you watch the videos on YouTube, you see the tarot readers, the psychics, and they all usually have their own little cute setup. They all have like a cute little way that they do things, and you think, oh my goodness, how creative. And yes, it is creative, because people who are intuitive are creative, and people who are creative are intuitive. So you need to spend time in this creativity, because believe it or not, it is you connecting with higher power. It is you connecting with universe. It is you connecting with God. Okay? There's the whole Old Testament with King David, and he would pray through music, right? He would write music, and he would sing, and he would write poetry. Or the mystic Rumi. Rumi was a mystic. He was a Sufi, and he wrote beautiful poetry, right? But it was all about the connection with the divine. It was all about God. It was all about the spiritual connection. And so this is why you need the creativity. It's connecting you with God. Or whatever you want to call it. If you don't want to call it God, you want to call it universe, higher self, higher consciousness, whatever label you wish to put on it. This is why you need it. Your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, my darlings, is the star. Holy moly, look at this. We're talking about all this creativity and all this success, and you have yet another creative card. The star is very creative. And the thing that I love about the star is it comes in with some very, very reassuring messages, which is that the worst of things are behind you. You can expect for things to get better now. Also, the star speaks of the fact that you are going to be able to take your negative experiences, your hard times, your trials, and you're going to be able to channel them into creative projects, things that are an inspiration to others. So telling your life story, or putting together a beautiful work of art that's going to be moving and inspiring other people. When the star comes up, it says that you have been through some darkness, but you have risen above it. You have come out of it as a shining light. Think about what a star is, Libra. A star is just this rock in the sky that, through the chaos of chemical gas reactions, gases reacting to one another, it's constantly combusting, it's constantly exploding, it's constantly on fire. And we're miles and miles away, and we just see it and we think, oh, how beautiful. Look at how it twinkles. Look at how it shines. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's inspiring. Oh, it's romantic. It's this, it's that. But if you were up close to a star, you would realize it's just this constantly exploding rock mass. It's constantly combusting. And this is what's happening with you when you create. All of your stress, all of your fear, all of your worry, all of these heavy energies, they're exploding into light. They're exploding into something beautiful. You are this constantly combustible thing. You're constantly, combusting all of this stress and all of this heaviness, and it's becoming something beautiful. It's becoming light. It is guiding you through the darkness. It is helping you maintain your sanity, and it is an inspiration to others. And when we inspire others, it is a beautiful thing because we help them connect to that higher power. We help them connect to that higher consciousness. So you are doing a service to your fellow man. Okay, it's not silly that you want to go home and you want to work on your book or your song or your painting or your sculpture or your collage or whatever it is that you're doing. It's not silly that you want to go home and work on that. And you need to make it a priority because it's going to pay off. Your work will be seen. Your work will be known. You will come into abundance. For some of you, this creativity is actually a form of meditation that is clearing you and healing you and opening you up to opportunities that are going to be bringing in abundance. Because the message of the star also is that you are headed towards comfortable retirement. You are headed towards being able to draw in income from different streams, from more than one place, right? So you may have a day job. You may have artistic talents that are bringing you in money. You may be giving somebody lessons in some kind of skill, and that's also bringing in money. You may be, investing in some kind of thing, and that's bringing in money. And before you know it, you have this stability. You have this abundance coming in, a little bit from here, a little bit from there. People say that people who are millionaires, they become a millionaire when they have 7 streams of income, right? And so some of you are working towards those 7 streams of income, but it's coming naturally. It's coming naturally. One thing is giving a birth to another. And it's that constant, like the gas is reacting to each other. It's giving birth to something else. It's giving birth to something else. So you're coming into this rising above in this abundance, my darlings. Let's go ahead and see your spirit message for the week. Oh my goodness gracious. Everything is jumping out of my hands lately. I'm telling you, the energies are intense. Let's see what is happening for Libra in your spirit message. There it is. That's the one. Ooh, playfulness. Go play, Libra. Go play. You have playfulness. So this is confirming the message. What did Spirit tell you? You need to be creating. You need to be enjoying life. You need to be doing the things that make your heart sing. People might be telling you that you're lazy or that you need to be going and doing something more serious, right? Like get out there and make some money. And really what it is Spirit is saying your abundance is going to come in, your love